Hello, Dog TV. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We wanted to give you guys this very special Facebook Live talking about holidays and the prep and how you can prepare this weekend for a busy holiday season. So please welcome co-host, dog trainer, lifestyle expert, owner of the Nativo Pet Company. Please welcome Laura Nativo. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Joe. It's always so much fun to do these lives with you.
Always a blast. We're excited. I think this one is particularly exciting because it's the holidays and we're all getting excited. I know I am, and the lights are going up, potentially friends and family coming over. But it's just a different season that's coming up for all of us. So let's talk about holidays and what that looks like. You got a couple of things we're going to walk through. Let's first start off with our guests, of course. If you're watching this live, what are your questions about the holidays? What are things you're nervous about, worried about? Is it food? Is it your guests? Is it your dog's crazy anxiety level? What are some questions you have? And we'll try to get to those at the end of this Facebook Live. But I want to start off something that's a big thing in our house. We got a beagle. He loves food. What is some food for him that we can share with him? We got little kids. They're sharing food with him all the time. And then what are some foods that we should just keep away from his little mouth and the little paws to keep him healthy? So healthy foods and some foods to avoid right off the top, because who doesn't love talking about food?
Sure. So I think this is going to make everybody hungry at home.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really important question because so many times you have friends and family coming over. Everybody wants to share with the dog. So I think establishing some ground rules with your visitors so that people understand what is safe and what to avoid.
Yep.
So let's start with what we can feed. We can feed some of our turkey. I'm talking about the turkey meat only. No skin, no bones. Make sure that when you unravel the turkey and you throw, you discard whatever you're not feeding, the string is very dangerous. So make sure that if you put it in the trash, take that trash outside. Don't leave it where the dog can knock it over. But our turkey meat is good, especially just like the white meat that is clean, no salt, no seasoning, no spices. You can give them that. You can give them sweet potatoes. You can give them pumpkin. You can share apples. You can share green beans. Just remember that when you're sharing the food, they should be in their natural, fresh, raw state or just gently cooked without any seasoning. So I always say avoid the S's. S's, salts, seasoning, spices, sauces, skins. If you kind of think about like the evil S's, those are some general things to avoid for Thanksgiving.
I love it.
Some other things to think about avoiding are our stuffing. As delicious as it is for us, it has a lot of those S's. Casseroles we should avoid. Creamed peas, you can feed fresh peas, but you don't want the creamed peas that have all of the heavy cream and milk and maybe some type of dairy and sugar. Obviously, I think our Dog TV audience is very educated. No raisins, no grapes, no onions. Those we know are no-nos. Chocolate and sugar. Sugar is another S, whether it's real sugar or artificial sugar like xylitol is especially toxic. So those things, and then any fatty foods can cause pancreatitis. So really just try to keep your food clean. One tip I give people is if you know your dogs, maybe you have a big dog like I do, and then a smaller dog, you could actually take a bowl or a mason jar and set some safe food in it, put it on the table and tell your guests, this is what Delilah can eat and this is what Penelope can eat. And if you'd like to share food with them, please take it from this bowl, ask them to sit or to go to their bed or to do something good and reward them from this bowl. That way you, as the dog parent, are fully aware of how much your dog is consuming, because even though a lot of these things are healthy, we don't want to feed our dogs in excess. We don't want them getting sick or getting a bellyache. So by monitoring their intake through rationing their food allowance, that's a really helpful way for your guests to feel like they can feed and your dogs can get in on the fun safely.
I love that, setting it aside as well, because then you can do that sort of uncooked, unseasoned, unsauced, unasked food. And then you have it there. It's available. When it's gone, it's gone.
Mhm.
And then hopefully your dog is not a scavenger like mine is that jumps on the plates. We're working on it step by step. You mentioned it a little bit, but let's talk about maybe before our guests get there about getting your dog like getting their wiggles out, getting their stickies out. What is your recommendation on maybe day of if you're hosting one or two family and friends this year? What is your recommendations before people even arrive?
Absolutely. So, just like any holiday, we've talked about this with Halloween. We're going to talk about it for Christmas. With Thanksgiving, and any time you're having a family or friend gathering, just like birthdays, you want to think about getting your dog exercise prior to all of the activity.
Yep.
We, of course, want our dogs to be part of the festivities, but we're going to be distracted with conversation and meal prep, cooking. So, we want our dogs to be relaxed. We want them to be able to enjoy enrichment, enjoy maybe watching dog TV.
Yep.
So before you have friends and family come over, think about taking a family hike or a family walk with the
Love it.
dogs. Think about fun games of tug, fetch, nose work. Even if you have a dog who might be a senior dog or specially abled who, maybe can't be as active as they used to, you can do low impact games like nose work inside your house, in your backyard. We talk about this a lot with Dog TV, all of the different ways to provide enrichment. So think about giving your dog a really fun morning the day of. That way, by the time visitors come, they have a nice, even energy level.
I love it. And then a good note there, if you are going to start Dog TV, maybe you haven't, our Bark Friday specials actually started today. So that's 50% off for 3 months. We also have some more launching on there. So I will put the link into the chat. But it's Bark Friday specials. Thank you so much, whoever did that. Oh, actually, I think that's the system. So there it is. Check on that. Just click on that link, and then you can start Dog TV, 7-day trial, and then 50% off for your first 3 months. Nice and easy way to get started during the holidays and have some fun. So enjoy that. So thank you for setting me up on that one, Laura. Bumps.
Yeah.
Now we're good to go. So now I love that of getting your dog out there, getting them excited. They know there's gonna be people there. And if they're a little more tired, they might be a little better behaved.
Absolutely. And the other thing you can do, I liked your point about making sure that you're setting aside some of the Thanksgiving food to share before. You can put some in a bowl for visitors to feed. You can also stuff it into enrichment toys. So if as you're prepping your meal, you take some turkey, some pumpkin, some sweet potatoes, you could mix it up with a little bit of yogurt and stuff it in maybe the West Paw Topple toys, Kongs. You can freeze those. So that way, as visitors start arriving, you can create a safe space for your dog, either a quiet room, maybe a crate, maybe a little baby gate. So when you have visitors coming and going, one of the most dangerous things is our doors opening and our dogs being free. So if we give them some delicious Thanksgiving food stuffed, allow them to watch Dog TV quietly as our visitors are coming, it's a good way to keep them safe and to kind of introduce everybody in a very slow and gentle way.
Love it. Yeah, we sort of do that with our dog. We put him off to the side, have some treats in there, and then when the guests are there and he's a little more calm and a little more relaxed, we sort of introduce him to the guests, and then everyone has a good experience versus all these people there getting off their winter jackets, or if you're in warmer climate, getting jumped on, and that certainly helps to manage your dog. Speaking of managing your dog, we talked about this a little bit, but like the space and then how to manage it with guests. Like you have space in your home to sort of separate your dog from everybody else.
Definitely. So there's 2 styles of management for Thanksgiving: space management and guest management. So when we talk about spaces, depending on your dog and how friendly, how old they are, what's their personality like, how are they with strangers, and do they know people who are coming, or are the people coming, fresh faces? We can think about different types of management. So maybe it's a crate in a different room. Maybe it's just a quiet room. Maybe it's an X pen that's either near the door or in a separate area. You're the best judgment of how your dog is going to respond to visitors coming. But by keeping them separated, it's a good way to keep them safe. And as you said, allow your guests to take off their coat, get relaxed. If you do have a very friendly dog who maybe knows everyone that's coming, and you're not as worried about them being fearful or anxious, what you could do is have them on a leash when visitors arrive. So if you have small children coming and you don't want your dog jumping or being too exuberant, or maybe you have your parents, you have senior citizens coming and you don't want your dog jumping up, by simply having them on a harness attached to their leash, you can allow your dogs to say hello and tell tell your visitors. I tried to blend guest and visitor.
No, yeah,
Visitors.
gizzards. We've patented the word gizzard.
Yeah, that's
All
the
your
new
gizzards.
thing. So you can tell your visitors as they're arriving,
Love it.
maybe you set out a mason jar with some Num Nums treats outside of the home and
Yeah.
tell them before they come in. You can text everybody, hey, I actually want to use your arrival for training. We've taught our dog to go to a mat or to go to their crate. Do me a favor, when you walk in, take a treat out of the mason jar and ask my dog to sit, or ask my dog to go to their crate, or ask my dog to go to their bed. And you can actually use your visitors as helpers for dog training. And so you can help practice your dog's good habits if you have already started some training by teaching your dog to go to a specific area or teaching your dog to sit for greets.
And I love that you're being proactive as well with your guests. We have a couple of guests I will not name on this Facebook Live because they probably are watching it, or families
Hi, guys.
who just maybe never had dogs before, or it's been a really long time, and they don't understand that you sort of have to take control as a dog owner in that relationship. So they're dropping treats out of their pockets. The dogs are doing this, and then the dog is unruly. So you're being proactive to say, hey, here's a little tip, here's a little trick. And who doesn't love when a dog does something that we say? I mean, it's the most enjoyable, like sit, and the dog does, and you're like, I win. It's a wonderful feeling. So
Absolutely. And here's one other tip that I absolutely love. So I remember when I was a little kid, I was obsessed with my Aunt Nancy's dog, Chocolate. Remember Aunt Nancy? She like typed into her
oh my
Facebook
gosh, I
Live.
know you are. Is she? No, maybe not. Okay.
I don't know if she's here today, but as a child, I was so attached to my family members' dogs. So one thing you can do, maybe there's a kid in your family who is 10, 11, 12, and they're responsible and they have a special connection with your dog. If you as the host are going to be busy greeting people, you can assign the job of taking care of the dog to someone trustworthy in the family. So, you know, little me when I was 12, if my aunt had said, hey, Laura, your job is to make sure that Chocolate is good when people come. Here's some treats. Every time someone comes in, I want you to help guide the guest and ask the dog to sit or ask the dog to lay down. You can delegate that job so that you as the host can, you know, focus on your cooking and greeting everybody who's coming, but have someone trusted be focused on the dog, because it's really important, if your dog is free and open and allowed to interact with guests, that there is one person whose job is to make sure that the dog and your visitors are kept safe.
Very, very much so. It's a good thing as well. And I know a lot of people have gotten new dogs during the season. It's a wonderful time. People are adopting. So they might not know how their family is going to react. So a little email to say, hey, do you guys remember all those cute Instagram posts you like? Now you're going to interact with him, and working together to keep your dog healthy and happy, and you're safe, your guests as well, or your visitors.
Yes, your visitors.
So obviously there's a lot of excitement going on during the holidays. There's people coming in. What are some tips to have your dog sort of relax and separate from that? Some dogs can get maybe overstimulated. You know, the kids are playing around. What are some tips and tricks? Do you do it before they show up? Do you do it during dinner to get your dog to relax and to not be overstimulated?
That is a great question. So we have, a week until Thanksgiving? You can actually start training now, preparing now. We're coming out with a series of dog training videos myself, connected to Dog TV. And one of our training tips that I think is launching very soon is all about relax on a mat. Until it launches, you can search Dr. Karen Overall relaxation protocol, and there's a whole method to helping our dogs learn how to relax. The first step is teaching your dog to go to a bed and teaching them to lay down on their bed. But then we're basically shaping, we're using, whether we're using a clicker or a marker word, like, yes, we are rewarding our dog for that slight shift in their hips, or maybe putting their head down, all of the little indications that their body is starting to relax. We want to start teaching this now if we haven't already. And you can pick a spot maybe near the table, but far enough away from the traffic of people going from the kitchen to the dining room, find a little safe space for your dog. And if your dog does have the impulse control to relax on a mat, train it and practice it. And during your Thanksgiving meal, you can maybe give your dog a stuffed feeder toy or a frozen marrow bone on that little mat. Or if they're still in the learning process, you could maybe set up an X pen near all of the action and put the mat or the dog bed inside of the X pen and allow your guests to reward your dog for being quiet, being relaxed. Because of course we all want to share our Thanksgiving meal with our dogs, but I don't mind dogs begging, but there may be members of the family that are uncomfortable, or maybe they're scared, or you could have a dog like my Delilah Jane who likes to demand bark, and she thinks it's funny, and I don't really correct it because I love her, and to me it's fun to share my meals with her, but to other people it may come off as rude. So you have to think about who are your visitors, what is your dog's personality, and how do we make this a pleasant experience for everyone to have fun.
Exactly. Setting those expectations, getting them in the mood for this. And I know the other thing, and we didn't talk about this before, but I wanted to just kind of throw it out there. What are some early holiday gifts that are sort of in the back of your mind for your dogs? Obviously, we have the meal, we have people coming over, but maybe we'll end with something super fun, because who doesn't love getting stuff and giving stuff? What are some things that you're eyeing on, like that next hot, cool dog gift for this holiday season? And mine's gonna be dog TV. Here it is again.
Okay.
50% off, 3 months. Click on the link in the comments. Take you right to the checkout page. Check it out. 7-day trial. So that's mine. What is yours?
Awesome. Well, I love the promotion of things that are good for our dogs that we're passionate about. So I would say one of the most simple gifts that is not expensive, because obviously with COVID, we have to be sensitive. A lot of us are on a budget. Interactive toys, things like Snuffle Mats. If you don't have a Snuffle Mat, go out and get one. And you can order from Amazon, but even better, you can support a small business. Go onto Etsy, and there are dozens of people who are creating these awesome toys. Snuffle Mats, if you're not aware, it's basically a plastic backed mat that has little blades of fabric that kind of emulate blades of grass, but they're made out of fleece. And so you can take your dog's food or treats, hide them in the Snuffle Mat, and it's a really great thing to keep your dog busy while you're eating Thanksgiving meal, if you take them to a restaurant. But they're fun for your dogs. They provide mental enrichment for puppies to senior dogs, and they're the type of thing that they're very affordable. So they're a great gift, whether it's for your dog or for a friend or family member. And since we're promoting our passion projects, I've got my Num Nums, which are my dog training treats, which are awesome for enrichment while your dog's watching dog TV. You can put them in a Snuffle Mat. You can stuff them in a Kong. So healthy, human grade dog treats, super delicious and affordable. I think those are my 2 picks.
Awesome. Where can people get those Num Nums? What's that website again?
So Num Nums, if you go to nativopet.com, or if you go onto Amazon and search Nativo Pet, Nativo Naturals, you will find our Num Nums as well as our Chillin' Chews, which are great for Thanksgiving.
Awesome. Well, exciting stuff. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I want to thank Laura and Delilah and the whole team over there, everybody over there at Nativo Pet. Hello. Oh, yeah. This is probably the only time that she's been not camera hogging.
I know.
So impressive.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning, so Delilah's still half asleep.
I know. We have to do this on her schedule. That's when you know you're a dog company, when you do it on the dog schedule. I love it. Well, absolutely fantastic information. Please feel free. Join our Dog TV Facebook pack. We'll hopefully have somebody put a link in the comments below if you have more questions about this. And then as a part of our annual memberships, we're actually doing a sort of group one-on-ones with Laura and other dog trainers to get more in depth into this. We did one early last week. It was fantastic, talking about a whole bunch of issues. But if dog enrichment, dog training is a passion for you, welcome to Dog TV. It's a passion for us as well.
Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you to all of our guests. We've got Hannah, Jesse over in Belgium is here.
Oh, yeah.
Smurf, Lisa Pardo, Yoongi's cat, B to Zach 13. So to everybody who has joined us, thank you for taking time out of your day to learn about dog enrichment and dog safety. We so appreciate your investment as dog parents. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll be doing more of these. We love to just deliver this information, help you guys be better dog parents during this season, difficult time. We wish you a happy and thankful Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays moving forward. But we'll talk soon. Dr. D's Chats is coming back. So thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and safe and happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk soon.
All right, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Give your dogs love from us.